Wait. I can read this one. Page 216. This isn't research notes. It looks like a personal entry.
What's it say?
Don't rush me.
Alright,
This
fine.
is gonna take a minute. Interesting. Alright, I think I got it.
Well, did you find out that the one who wrote this walked the dog outside?
It looks like they're talking about Radical 6.
Ah, okay. What? Why are they talking about that?
Not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing.
Alright. When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. It's reduced? If we assume the brain currently operates on a one-on-one basis with regards to time, Radical 6 reduces this to 1 to sigma. I don't know how to say that symbol. Oh, it's a root. Okay, it reduces this to 1 to root 1 to 6, or approximately 1 to 0.408. This means that for each second that passes outside, the patient feels that only 0.408 seconds have passed inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.45 seconds, or root times 6 seconds, have passed outside. In other words... Or wait, hold on. I'm being an idiot right over here. 6 at root, or something like that. I don't know how to say stuff like this in English. In other words, when 10 seconds pass in the real world, a patient infected with Radical 6 would feel as if only 4 seconds had passed. Damn. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6. Oh, wow. I don't know what it was with me there. Radical is not a term for what is also known as the root operation. Okay, so it's also said as root. Okay, so I guess I was right as well. The function inverse to the taking of power. In a less mathematical sense, it can also be used to refer to something that is extreme or severe. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Okay, that checks out, definitely. The exact cause of this is unclear, and although there is as of yet no direct link between suicidal urges and a reduction in mental processing speed, many believe that they are not unrelated. I mean, we definitely have heard Quark say that things are going so slow in comparison. Which is... Those infected with Radical 6 perceive the world to be moving at a fever pitch, as if it were a video cassette being fast-forwarded. For instance, although the patient believes that only 10 seconds have passed, in fact 24.5 seconds have passed. Given this increased speed of input, maintaining the ability to observe and reason would become a Herculean task, or Herculean task. Never heard of that word before. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Yep, I was thinking about that would be what is going on. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempt to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of this virus. Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but we have been unable to develop one. I mean, imagine if there is somebody who is infected with Radical 6 and that they don't get the urge to suicide. In fact, they are adapting really fast to this speed and this overload of information here. It will be quite terrifying as well. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. Thus far, however, we have been unable to locate a suitable subject, so I have continued my efforts to discover an alternative means of treatment. Given my current rate of progress, I predict that I will have a workable treatment within a decade or two. Ugh. It is my fervent hope that humanity will be able to survive that long. Okay, there goes the word hope once again. Was this written by Makoto? The bodies of those dead from suicide are piled up along the roads leading into and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay, and the sky is filled with the constant buzzing of flies. At times, their swarms are so thick that when one passes it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Every day I see more crows, and rats are everywhere, feeding on the dead. Ironically, the only healthy looking creatures are the stray cats, who have grown fat on a plentiful rotten diet. Cats! Oh my god. There is a connection between the Schrodinger's cat, the cats that are healthy, and Sigma's cat punism. And such. Oh my god. That's why he was chosen for this Nonary game. He has cat immunity. He's a cat man. What the fuck? The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. Their survival is the only hope that remains for the human race. Oh Lord, please, let their future be a bright one. Whoa, that's a lot of information. I mean, this doesn't really feel like one of those situations where, okay, these 9 people that we have here in this Nonary game have been locked in a facility for their safety, but in actuality, Zero came in to fuck with everything, and then now they are in this Nonary game. No, I think that this Nonary game was planned from way before. I mean, you tell me that a place that is secured by the government would have these chromatic doors and escape rooms prepared and such. Nah, I don't think so. That's a lot of information, that's for sure. Now we know what the virus does to you, though. If you get infected, your brain slows down by the root of 1/6. That's what, about 40%?
That isn't the important part. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide.
Yeah, you're right. That would explain why Quark was, well, trying to kill himself.
There are 2 other things in here that worry me.
Although it does make me question. I was thinking about this before, but why is Alice not infected in this timeline? I mean, I could go with the cop-out answer and say that, oh, a different timeline, therefore things are different, blah, 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 but there has to be some logic to it. Maybe she didn't stay that much, like that close to Quark this time around, but is it really based on just distance?
First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that?
What am I supposed to make of it? Maybe they just hand-found one when this journal was written. I mean, from what we know, there's a drug called Xelivir that cures it.
Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that.
So, unless they haven't found the cure earlier, they really tried to make this Xelivir for like 20 years? Hold on a second. I'm getting confused. And therefore... So, you're saying that maybe over 20 years have passed since we were knocked out in the car and everybody else got knocked out by the smoke and the Zero masked guy? When was this thing even written?
December 29th. No year.
Well, there's no way it was written this year. Unless somebody else found the cure like way earlier. Then,
Yeah, probably not.
Does it say no year? God damn it!
Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions. The newspaper article said something about quarantining people too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing. What if this was one of those quarantine facilities?
Nah, I don't think so.
But this journal seems to suggest the opposite. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters.
You're trying to say that this place might be one of those underground shelters? Which would mean we're all supposed to be uninfected. We would have been thrown in here to keep us safe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something tells me that... Okay. Giving my theory over here. This is the facility in which this person wrote, the person who wrote in this journal is the one that worked in this facility for a cure. And just maybe, part of creating the Xavier cure is for some that are immune to the Radical 6 would be thrown into this Nonary game. That will be an explanation. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as what happened in the first Nonary game. We were thrown in this not to kill each other and all that, but to save someone's life.
I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible.
But Quark's been infected, right?
Then maybe the virus got in somehow.
That would be bad.
Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense. Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades.
Yeah, but why? I mean, unless Zero is the government. The government created this Nonary game. It's not that Zero and the government are completely separate. And alongside keeping us safe, they created this place with escape rooms and AB games and such, for some unknown reason.
While we were sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened, and whoever had this journal made this entry.
And then once the antiviral treatment was finished, they woke us up?
Right. It's all just speculation, but...
Nah, that doesn't make sense. I mean, it seems like a pretty plausible scenario, but... we were all captured before the pandemic started, right?
Yeah.
And how would they have put us to sleep for that long? How would they have known to do that? Well, I mean... if we are to say that the government is the one that did all this, maybe they already realized that Radical 6 was going to happen, and they already found out who are the ones immune to this, so they started capturing people before the Radical 6 spread to the entire world. And when they found the cure, bam, we woke up. But most importantly, why the hell are we playing the Nonary game if the point of this place is to save us? I don't know. Throwing a bunch of people into a game that might kill them is a pretty weird way to protect them from a pandemic. Well, I mean, let's think about this as well. Have we, I mean, of course, Sigma, you have never known this, but going through all these timelines, have we ever seen somebody get penalized from the bracelets? No, at least not yet. If we are to die from the bracelets, then yeah, that would raise some stuff over here. That would be a good legit point for Sigma over here. I mean, the first Nonary game, the point of the whole thing was not to kill people. Well, except for the ones responsible for the first Nonary game. But for the participants, no, nobody was supposed to die. The only goal was to save Akane. And that's it. It was Ace that was being a jackass.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
We don't have enough information to make any real conclusions. I think we should see if we can find anything else.
Fi had barely finished speaking before she took off for the magenta door. Hey, weren't you coming to the infirmary with me?
Changed my mind. You can tell me about Quark later.
And with that... she was gone. This is just fantastic. Man. I let out a long, tired sigh and started off toward the infirmary. This place is gonna be the death of me, I swear, by the end of all this. If we are gonna be able to escape this hell one day. How's he doing?
He seems to be stable, as far as I can tell.
Still sleeping.
I see. Mind if I have a look?
Please, go ahead.
I made my way around the partition to the side of Quark's bed. The journal and the thing Fi and I had talked about would definitely need to be addressed. But for the moment, the AB game was what I needed to concentrate on. Lives were at stake. Mine. And Quark's. So basically, it's either Sigma's life or Quark's life. Unless we are able to find another Excelsior somewhere. And, well, I mean, even if Quark were to wake up, maybe we have some more of that stuff that would make him go to sleep once again. And so on, but otherwise... I don't know if we should risk that. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. If the journal was telling the truth, then as soon as the anesthetic wore off, Quark would go insane again. What if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before we got to him? Or perhaps he just get out of the infirmary and go hide somewhere. On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep anesthetizing him forever. There was only one way to save Quark, and that was with Excelsior. Unfortunately, Dio had stolen it. If we wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if I did, there was an excellent chance I would end up dead. The question was then, what to do? Sacrifice myself to save Quark? Or keep quiet about the danger he was in to save myself? I was so faint. I almost didn't hear it.
Grandpa. Grandpa.
He shifted a little, then fell silent again. It was enough, though. What on earth had I been thinking? How could I even consider letting a child die in my place? Suddenly my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I had considered letting Quark die, even for a minute, was pathetic. There was only one choice. There had only ever been one choice. No way was I going to leave Quark to die. My hands tightened into fists as I looked down at him. And the uncertainty I felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do. Yeah, I'm with you here, Sigma. Although I'm really gonna feel sorry for you dying, if we are to choose ally.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally. Results will be displayed in the warehouse.
Looks like it's almost time. You two should head back.
What about you?
Not going. I'm worried about Quark.
But you're a solo. If you don't vote...
I'll automatically ally. I know. I heard the voice on the intercom just like you.
What are you going to do if Kay and Alice vote betray?
Nothing, I suppose. Just means I lost that round. I'd just be voting ally anyway. You know who my opponents are, right? Alice only has one BP left. If I pick betray and they chose ally, I'd kill her. I'm not so desperate to escape that I'm gonna kill someone for it. And even if I was, I can't leave Quark behind. You see? Doesn't matter if I go into the AB room or not.
That is true. I didn't even say that you had all the BP necessary in order to escape. You couldn't do that without having Quark escape with you as well. And that is quite bad.
My vote's the same either way.
Tenmyouji's mind was made up. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright. Take care of Quark.
Of course. You worry about yourself.
Let's go.
Okay.
Luna and I headed out of the infirmary, leaving Tenmyouji and Quark behind. When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. Oh, not quite everyone. One other person was missing. Hey, where's Dio?
Take a look at the doors.
Oh, he's already inside. They're all closed. When I came in here before, the one on the far right was open.
And that would mean...
The Dio went inside already. And he went in, I guess.
Exactly.
That bastard. He'd probably been worried I might try and take the Excalibur from him by force, so he'd hidden himself in the AB room. What a coward. I made up my mind to choose Ally no matter what, but a part of me had still considered trying to jump Dio if he dropped his guard. Now he'd made sure I wouldn't get the chance to try. I mean, unless we are to go outside and just take it by force.
Where's Tenmyouji?
Oh,
Luna explained Tenmyouji's choice.
I see. Well, I guess that means I don't have to worry about him picking betray.
right. What will you guys be choosing then?
Ally, of course.
Because my BP is 6, I assume.
Yes.
I see. So it's not about Alice wanting more BP to escape. She would choose Ally so that they would only get 2 BP. So that Kay wouldn't be the one to escape. I guess he really doesn't trust Kay that much.
As long as Tenmyouji votes Ally, I can't choose betray. If I do, Kay's BP will go up to 9.
But what if he forces you?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that possibility. I guess.
You needn't worry. I would never do something so crass.
Really?
Of course.
Then you don't need to go in there.
Excuse me?
Alice can vote by herself. Then we don't have anything to worry about, right?
Well,
Yeah, I guess this time he wants to escape as well, once again. I just feel it.
I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't agree to that.
Why not?
I just can't. Shall we go, Alice?
Hey, hold on a minute there.
Kay continued briskly toward the AB room as if he simply hadn't heard Five. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out. Only seconds later, they disappeared into the third room from the left. Okay.
Alice is going to be okay.
I mean, maybe, just maybe this time, maybe they are to choose. If they were to choose betray, then maybe Kay wouldn't escape. I don't know.
Well, there's nothing we can do now. If Kay told the truth, she'll be fine.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Time's almost up. Come on, Luna.
Right.
They headed off at a trot toward the second room from the right, and were soon out of sight inside it. Alright, Clover. Time for us to go.
Oh, okay. Right behind you.
I sighed to myself and headed toward the leftmost AB room. Alright, let's go through this. I mean, if I am to be honest, I don't know
What are you gonna do?
I don't know what choice I would have had done. I don't know what choice I would have picked. If this whole thing didn't happen, if Dio wasn't forcing us. I wouldn't have trusted him to choose ally. I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm going to choose ally.
You can't! You'll die!
Well, you never know. Just because Dio told us to ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pick betray.
Do you really think a jerk like that is going to choose ally if he doesn't have to?
Well, the important thing is that the possibility still exists. Even if it seems the most implausible.
No. No way! He's got 6 BP right now. If he picks betray, then he'll have 9 points!
Well, what about you?
Huh?
He got 6 BP too, right? If Dio chose ally, and we chose betray, then you have 9 BP.
What? No, that's not... I didn't even realize that until you brought it up. I'm just trying to tell you that Dio is going to pick betray. That's who he is.
And I'm trying to tell you that I made up my mind. That's who I am. The only choice is ally. It's the only chance we have to get that medicine back.
That's why Dio called you an IG. What makes you think he's going to give us the Accelavir, even if you do what he says?
Maybe he won't, but I can guarantee that he'll destroy it if I pick betray. That's who he is. And I guess for that matter, I would be glad to be called an IG.
Fine. If you aren't gonna listen to me, then I guess I don't have a choice. I'll be pushing that button.
Huh? Oh god, no. Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran toward the voting machine. No, Clover! No! Stop! I snatched her by the arm and hauled backward with all my strength.
Ow!
Sorry. That was a little too hard, huh?
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You can't just throw a girl around like that.
Oh, you're the one who tried to trick me.
But you're gonna die! Dio's going to kill you! You can't do this! I don't want you to die.
Ten seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that, Clover. I give her my best reassuring nod, and turned to face the bowling machine.
3, 2, 1.
You fucking asshole, Dio.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Clover and I stepped out of the AB room. For several long moments, we just stared at one another. Words weren't necessary. Everything she would have tried to tell me, I could already see in her eyes. Let's go. I turned and headed toward the result screen.
Sigma.
I heard her behind me, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The choice was already made. I stood up straight and kept walking. Yeah. Well, I guess for curiosity's sake, we will see what happens when one gets under 0 points. If we are actually gonna die, or this is all just bluffing.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What?
Sigma's BP is...
Negative.
Suddenly, all eyes were on me. I felt their weight, but stood my ground. It was the result I had expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I didn't have to wait long. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic supper room. I blinked, and my vision started to blur. And I tried to think. It felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, and then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Hey! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Oh no! Oh no, oh no, oh no!
Trying to open my eyelids was like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost the ability to focus, but I could make out the blur that had to be Dio in front of the number 9 door. Damn it. You keep your promise, goddammit. I groaned. and with a Herculean effort lifted my head, and then my sluggish body off the floor. Every step was a battle, and whenever I shifted my weight, my muscles threatened to give out again. But somehow I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. You better give us the cure, goddammit! I would reach Dio. Then, at last... The smudge of Clover faded into a recognizable person. I threw out my hand in front of him. Oh! Give it back! Give me the medicine.
Give it back. Don't act like it's yours. Aren't we supposed to share everything we find here?
I don't care. Just hand me the medicine.
What are you talking about?
We found the Excelsior. In the laboratory.
And Dio stole it.
What?
You mean he has it? Right now?
Yeah. So?
I kept my promise. No, you... I wasn't a fool. I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Excelsior. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much of my mind as I could, and got ready to attack.
Fine.
Not quite what I'd been expecting.
Here.
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket, and tossed it toward me. I caught it and pulled the tiny glass bottle to my chest, worried I might drop it. Alright. The label said, unmistakably, Excelsior. It was a real thing. God damn it. Clover, take it. I held it out toward her. I was thinking that it wouldn't work. That we would be immune to this.
Of course.
She quickly tugged it into her pocket. Good. Now this Quark will be alright. With that, the last of my strength left me, and I dropped to my knees.
Sigma! Are you okay? Sigma! Sigma!
I guess this is it.
First is the socoril, which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
9 minutes. Once the Soporil was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxant followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed, which left me with 5, give or take a little. Okay. Maybe we still have a chance to survive this. There's gotta be something we can do to counteract this. 5 minutes, I would be dead. What could I do in 5 minutes? How could I save myself? I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with death staring me in the face, I seemed to be determined to struggle right up until the very end. Okay, Sigma. You can do this. Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. Okay, what could we do? How can I save myself? How? There had to be something. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has a solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is a state of mind. I just had to think. Think. If there was a way out, I'd find it. I wasn't ready to give up on life yet. There had to be an answer. And... yep. You just couldn't give me a fucking ending or something, right? It always has to be a continued.